When they start talking, when the people that who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'ma beat his ass.
He can't
y'all
do
talk.
shit.
For real. I better be quiet.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in a second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't ask, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like,
Rematch Date before. What do you have to do to create enough separation when he's not happening? That's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't give me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room.
Tensions erupted as Gervonta "Tank" Davis stormed the press conference, delivering an unfiltered warning to Lamont Roach. "I'm ending him in front of everyone." The room crackled with emotion as both fighters locked eyes, igniting the atmosphere with intensity and unfinished business. Cameras flashed, fans held their breath, and Davis made one thing clear. He wasn't just there to talk. He came to make a statement. What followed was a heated exchange, a war of words that electrified the boxing world. This isn't just a rematch. It's a battle of pride, rivalry, and vengeance, setting the stage for an unforgettable showdown.
What's good, guys? Red Corner Boxing here. So the Ring Magazine has today confirmed that Gervonta "Tank" Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. 2 will take place on August 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a great fight. We need to see it again. Who wins it and how, lads? Let us know here on Red Corner Boxing.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal, and it's not far off.
The highly anticipated rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., originally set for June 21st, 2025, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, has been postponed. The delay stems from multiple factors, with Davis requesting additional time to ensure proper preparation and training. Compounding the situation were financial difficulties faced by premier boxing champions, the event's promoter, which further impacted scheduling. As a result, the fight has been rescheduled for August 16th, 2025, still in Las Vegas. With their first bout ending in a controversial draw, anticipation is soaring as fans await the next chapter in this heated rivalry.
How you think coming up with Tank?
I hope he don't fight Lamont, actually. I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So it's going to look like somebody else already did it.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I
heard him say before. I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
look. That sound good. That sound real good. But she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you, too little.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
Exactly. Y'all can't play so many head games. It's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off, and then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and that ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama, which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the no mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Their first clash on March 1st, 2025 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn ended in a majority draw, leaving fans and analysts split. One judge scored it 115 to 113 for Davis, while the other two had it even at 114 to 114. A controversial moment in the 9th round saw Davis take a knee after a jab from Roach, but a referee did not rule a knockdown, a decision that sparked intense debate and added fuel to the fire for their highly anticipated.
For me, Tank Davis fighting a minus 1600 as your main event odds is crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. That underdog who lived up to the hype. He ended up, overperforming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some politics to keep Davis as champion. You ever see guys getting the referee their own fight? Dude, anybody else takes that knee, you're getting counted, bro. The referee, actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. If you notice, Steve Willis started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper outside the ring, wasn't counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. You know, earlier in the fight, if you saw that shoulder barge that Tank did to Roach in the clinch, he didn't get a warning, but Roach's reaction got the warning. This is the politics we're dealing with. You keep doing this, you're looking at short-term money and long-term destruction on the sport.
Davis blamed his performance on distractions, including irritation from hair products and the absence of ring girls, which he said threw off his focus. Still, he took responsibility, admitting, "I could have definitely done more. That's my fault."
You take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, you know. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but you know, it's not my business.
Critics argue that Davis deliberately took a knee in the 9th round against Roach to disrupt his opponent's rhythm and regain control by voluntarily going down. Davis may have been buying time to recover rather than risk being overwhelmed by Roach's pressure. Many fans and analysts see this as a strategic, veteran move aimed at halting Roach's growing momentum in a critical moment.
To go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty, it's horrible, it's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight trained, most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash rulings.
Davis explained that the 9th round incident was caused by a hair treatment he received 2 days before the fight. During the match, grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat, leading to a burning sensation in his eyes. Responding to the audience's boos in the post-fight interview, Davis expressed frustration, insisting his actions were not a tactic to manipulate the fight, but a genuine reaction to unexpected discomfort that affected his performance in the ring.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
The explanation from Davis has sparked mixed reactions among fans and analysts, with many questioning whether the moment should have been scored as a knockdown. Regardless of intent, the controversy surrounding the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach bout has intensified. The New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, has officially launched a review of the fight's outcome. According to Boxing Kingdom, technical issues initially delayed an immediate assessment of the pivotal 9th round incident. Many argue that ruling it a knockdown for Roach could have significantly impacted the final decision of the closely contested match.
Out the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
Following the controversial draw, Roach's team filed an appeal with the Athletic Commission, seeking to overturn the decision. The appeal focused on a critical moment in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis began a count but stopped at 3, allowing Davis to return to his corner, where his trainer wiped his eyes, an action that violates boxing regulations. Davis later claimed his vision was impaired due to grease from a recent hair treatment.
Why are you taking it? You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm like confused. That's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. That's a 10-8 round. I win the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that draw turned into a 115, 114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right? You see that you down on the score.
George Kambosos Jr. didn't hold back in his critique of Gervonta Davis. Following Davis's controversial draw against Lamont Roach, Jr. Kambosos praised Roach's impressive performance, highlighting his skill, toughness, and ability to push Davis in ways few have managed. He questioned whether Davis is truly prepared to face elite-level opponents. The fight was overshadowed by controversy, particularly in the 9th round when Davis took a knee without a knockdown being called. This moment sparked widespread debate across the boxing world, with many believing that the scoring should have favored Roach and that he was denied a well-earned victory.
Make it that fight on the weekend, what'd you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, yeah, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily.
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto.
Jake Paul has confirmed that if Gervonta Tank Davis defeats Lamont Roach in their upcoming rematch, talks will resume for a potential exhibition bout between the two. Despite a significant weight gap, Paul fights at cruiserweight, 195 pounds, while Davis competes at lightweight, 135 pounds. The proposed fight will be a 10-round exhibition. Negotiations were previously close to completion, but stalled following Davis's controversial draw with Roach. If both fighters win their respective upcoming bouts, the exhibition could happen later this year. Meanwhile, Davis is leaving nothing to chance as he prepares for the Roach rematch. He has enlisted renowned trainer Kenny Ellis, known for his discipline, strategic insight, and attention to detail. Under Ellis's guidance, Davis is sharpening his technique, improving endurance, and ensuring he corrects the mistakes that plagued their first bout. Training sessions have been intense and focused, with Ellis bringing structure and accountability to every aspect of Davis's preparation. He is also expected to be in Davis's corner on fight night, providing real-time tactical adjustments. With Ellis at his side and renewed motivation, fans may witness the most dangerous version of Gervonta Davis yet.
But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
How real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Reuniting with Coach Calvin Ford brings a unique energy to Tank Davis's camp. Their bond goes beyond boxing, built on years of trust and shared experience. Coach Calvin has been instrumental in shaping Davis's rise, transforming raw talent into a polished fighter. Every major victory Davis has achieved has had Coach Calvin working behind the scenes, expertly guiding and strategizing.
Doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing Lamont Roach to try to initiate something with slower hands, score his points, and get out. And he said the reason that he believes that Lamont Roach would be able to do that.
Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley expressed doubt about Lamont Roach's chances before their initial fight. He praised Gervonta Davis's crafty southpaw style, clever footwork, and fierce killer instinct. Lampley also highlighted Davis's devastating punching power, comparing his knockouts to those of a young Mike Tyson. Despite acknowledging Roach as a skilled boxer, Lampley believed he would struggle to overcome Davis's superior talent and aggression in the rematch.
All right, Sean Zattel here with the legendary Jim Lampley, PPV.com, and called a controversial draw tonight. The crowd inside Barclays, they did not like it. What did you think of the verdict, Jim? Was it the right call?
An upset draw is always a mixed bag for fans, for people in the sport, etc., etc. I thought it was, in essence, the right decision. The only question about whether the upset draw is justified is whether Steve Willis erred in not deducting a point in a late round when Tank Davis appeared to touch the canvas with his hand. And, that is going to stay in the woodwork and haunt the fight in the breach a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a setback in Tank's career and for his reputation. I think most observers expected him to knock Roach out, particularly because Roach was moving up from 130 to 135. Sometimes when a fighter moves up in weight, he gets stronger, and it looked as though maybe Roach did get stronger and had a greater ability to resist Tank's power than other opponents have had. Because Tank did tag him with a lot of clean shots.
Roberto Diaz, advisor to Lamont Roach Jr., acknowledged the tough challenge Davis poses, calling him one of the world's top fighters due to his power and impressive record. However, Diaz expressed confidence in Roach's abilities, highlighting his extensive experience, strong amateur background, and improvements since their last fight. He believes Roach's familiarity with Davis, combined with his growth as a fighter, could be key factors that influence the outcome of their upcoming rematch.
For their intestines, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality. Yeah.
All right, Brandon Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with Roberto Diaz. Roberto, good to see you as always.
Likewise, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, for sure. You're part of Lamont Roach's camp. What's your official role for Lamont
I'm an
Roach?
advisor for him.
Okay, so you guide him on how to make certain decisions?
Correct.
Okay.
We've been together for many years since his pro debut back in the days at Golden Boy, and after we both parted ways, we hooked up.
Okay. That's pretty interesting because, now that you guys are not with Golden Boy, you're still together. So
Absolutely.
You guys must have had a good relationship when you were at Golden Boy.
Always had a good relationship with him and his father, and obviously I'm honored and just honored to be a part of him. And when I got the call to continue working with him, it was a no-brainer for me.
A lot of the boxing media and the boxing fans are overlooking Lamont Roach, and they're angry that Tank is getting fights against Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, these kind of guys. But what could you, from someone that's been with him from the beginning, what can you say about the talent level of Lamont Roach?
I don't blame the fans, but it's a little bit of the unknown for them. It's a little bit of they don't know who he is. On Saturday night, they're going to know who he is, they're going to respect him, and they're going to become fans. One thing about Lamont is he fought all the styles. The kid has the talent, the kid has the want, but he's never had the opportunity to be on this type of stage. Now it is. Now it's on him. He's put in the work, the talent's there, the hunger's there. He knows what a win means. And here's where it's important. The fans are okay not to know, because until they are introduced, like they know who Shakur is, they know who these other guys is. They'll know on Saturday. But most importantly, Tank knows what he's facing because he brought in two of the best trainers in boxing. Not one, but two, because he knows what he has in front of him.
Kenny Ellis, a coach in Davis's camp, defended choosing Roach as an opponent, highlighting Roach's impressive credentials as a 7-time national champion with a strong pedigree. Ellis acknowledged that some fans might underestimate Roach, but warned that would be a mistake. He emphasized that both fighters have grown since their amateur days, and suggested a rematch will showcase their progress, development, and ability to adapt inside the ring.
You feel like that fight with Tank, the rematch with Roach, is bigger than perhaps a Shakur Stevenson fight now?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Tell me.
He got in the ring. He got in the ring with Tank with no hesitation.
Okay.
For the hell of a fight. You know, everybody want to see it again. And Shakur's last 3 fights, they criticized him. You know, because of his style of fight. No offense to him, but this is the reality. People criticize him because of the way he fight. You know, and they don't want to see that. They rather see Roach again. You know.
Who do you think will come out on top in the rematch? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this exciting showdown.